Hey, what's up, y'all? We are back with another episode of Thompson and Stuff. I'm your host. Do I need to introduce myself? Come on now. We've had about, 17 episodes? We probably know each other by now. What's up, y'all? We are back. This is the final episode of 2021. I am so excited. And I know I've been MIA, but so many stories have been happening. I'm so excited to talk to y'all. Holidays are coming up. We are recording this on December 22nd. Christmas Eve is 2 days away. Christmas is 3 days away. I am excited. I've been having wonderful holidays. My normal tradition every year, and I know this is not right because I'm getting older, and when you get older, your metabolism starts to slow down, and you can't do it as much. What I like to do is actually just eat whatever I want. I eat, I normally don't eat like beef cheeseburgers, but I'll have like a White Castle every once in a while. I'll have like a nice fancy burger. About a couple weeks ago, I went to House of Blues downtown Chicago, and I had a burger. It was really, really good. It's holiday season. I just, eat a lot, enjoy my family, enjoy family time. But also, please keep the ones in your prayers. We are still in a pandemic. We recently got word that there is another strain of COVID called the Omicron, and you guys can be safe, wear your masks, have small gatherings, please no big gatherings. If you get vaccinated, cool, but if you're not vaccinated, be safe. I can't force nobody to, say what to get and all that stuff, but let's be safe out there. Let's enjoy the Christmas holiday. If you're, in the house for the holiday, cool. If you're, with a small group of family or friends, cool. But I'm just excited to talk to y'all one last time before the new year. More podcast episodes for the new year, more books. I just got a green light for a new platform I'm very excited for, and I can't wait to share with you guys. But let's get into the episode. Let's get started. We got so much to do. We got so much to talk about. I'm so excited just to be here with y'all. So let's get started. So I want to start with sending a big congratulations to India and Lil Durk. So about a couple weeks ago downtown here in Chicago, we had the big jam. And, all the artists performed. Young Blue, Lil Durk. Just all the new people I'm not familiar with. Forgive me. But, sorry about that. But, what happened was Lil Durk was performing, and of course, India was there, and Lil Durk's 8 children were there, like a family unit, and, he came out and he proposed, just like any other romantic situation. Congratulations to them. They're very young. They're about my age or a couple years older, but they've been together for a long time, the jokes actually started rolling out on the internet. In Chicago, there's like this big beef between out west and out south and Southland and all that stuff. Listen, I don't, put myself in that stuff, but I follow it. Sometimes the jokes are funny. Sometimes the jokes are like, man, y'all are wild, And they said that it was an out west love story. I love that. Both India and Durk are from the west side of Chicago, so I guess they are a match made in heaven. But they don't live in Chicago anymore, thankfully. Durk was on Vlad TV a while ago. He was saying how, he has a lot of businesses in Atlanta. A lot of Chicago artists do move to Atlanta or LA, but I think that it's starting to be a bad idea. Not for, Durk, because good for him, he has his businesses or whatever. But sometimes when these artists, they leave their hometown, they kind of take the riffraff with them. Rest in peace, Young Vaughn and everybody. And, they didn't deserve that. But congratulations to them. But I just really wish people would not, put pictures of Lil Durk and his first child's mother. I'm sure that woman, she lives her life wherever she is. She's probably moved on. She's probably with another man, probably had kids by that man. So please, y'all, stop. Just congratulate them and move on, please. I mean, sometimes the internet can get messy, but congratulations to them. I wish them many years of happy marriage. congratulations to them. I'm not familiar with Lil Durk, so I know y'all probably are looking at me like, girl, that's all you gonna say? Congratulations, because weddings and marriage is a beautiful thing. And hopefully one day when I meet the right man, I'll probably walk down the aisle and, have the big wedding. Because I know they're going to have a big wedding. They're kind of flashy. I mean, I've seen pictures of Lil Durk. He's kind of flashy. They're going to have a flashy wedding somewhere in Atlanta. I'm not going to front to you. I'm not going to lie to you. Something else that's going on right now is the the Maxwell trial. I haven't been really keeping up with it because, it's a lot. She's been sitting in a jail cell rotten for probably a year and a half, 2 years by now. But, they just started putting out names of celebrities that, she hung out with Jeffrey Epstein. And some of them, I just have a hard time believing. Like, I heard Chris Tucker was hanging out with them. Now, okay, Chris Tucker had his, height fame in the 90s, whatever. But I just don't get that vibe from Chris Tucker to put himself in trouble like that. The only trouble I'm really familiar with Chris Tucker is his taxes problem. I don't see him hanging out with this type of crowd. I think that this Chris Lane, Maxwell lady, and Jeffrey Epstein, I think, I never really heard of these names until I really started divulging into the pop culture lifestyle. But from the pictures I see, from the stories I've read, from the documentaries that I've partially seen, I think this group of people, they, they're probably in the deep, deep, deep secret side of Hollywood. Cocaine, sex, drugs, rock and roll, all that stuff. And I just don't see Chris Tucker, hanging out in that part. I also heard of Oprah. I'm like, no, not Oprah. I would think, and I'm not trying to make this a race thing, I think it's more of the white celebrities that are involved in this than the black celebrities. Because I would say certain black celebrities, I think they know better. Certain black celebrities, and they probably wouldn't even let a black celebrity into that. So I think it's mostly white celebrities. And again, not a race, not trying to make it about race, but the black celebrities that I saw on that list, like Chris Tucker and them, I just really would not see it. Chris Tucker is a man of God. He goes to church. He talks about God. He even cleaned up his act. You know why he would not do Friday and play Smokey? Because, he got saved. So I really could not see that. Maybe it's rumors, but the trial will continue. So hopefully I will get a better update with them, and hopefully have a list with more believable people, like freaking these rock stars and all that stuff. But no, not Chris Tucker and none of that stuff. So I want to start with some movies and some TV shows that I have been watching. Well, let's not start because I've already started. So once I start, I don't stop. But let's talk about these next two documentaries. The first documentary I want to talk about, which was recently premiered on HBO Max, is the DMX documentary. And I'll also talk about the Juice WRLD documentary. Both was on HBO Max. But I want to start with the DMX documentary because, one, it was premiered first. It was premiered on the HBO Max the night of Thanksgiving, or the morning of Thanksgiving. Now, I have been a DMX fan for 24 years almost. But I've never, I come from an era where we didn't have social media till I was about 10 years old, but we had the shows. They had the million people TV crew follow them for shows like, My Fabulous Life or Diary that came on cable, But this gave a more intimate look on DMX's life when he first got out of jail. So if you all don't remember, DMX went to prison for tax evasion in 2019. I don't know nothing about taxes. I can't really get into depth about that. But they started filming him when he first stepped out of jail. And when he first stepped out of jail, he looked good. He looked healthy. Had a little bit of weight on him, but he was, happy to see everybody. His manager was there. I think, well, no, his girlfriend wasn't there. They saw her later. But he was just happy to see everybody. And basically, it was like a hard or a long train, or a fast train, I should say. And the documentary went through a lot of events really quickly. So basically, in a nutshell, I would say it started with him getting out of jail. And then the next big section would be him at his record label signing a contract, which I also want to talk about because I have been guilty of doing this too before. You know, he was at a meeting and they were talking about, the album deal and then him doing a Christmas album. And basically he was just like, whatever, let's do it. But, thank God Steve Rifkin or however you say his last name was there to say, you know what, let's go over this. Let's think about this. Let's, just look through the contract and everything. So we went to that part, and then we went to him going on tour, and then we went to him doing photo shoots and stuff, and then we saw the downside of his addiction, and then we saw him do concerts, and the end honestly made me cry. It was not sad. I hate to ruin it for everyone who didn't see it. It's still on HBO Max to view. I really liked the end because it was him hanging out at his ex-wife's house, and they were singing Diana Ross, and they were just hanging out, him, his fiance, his ex-wife, his children. It's a really nice thing, and I always admired people who have blended families because I don't have that. I'm not going to really give my family business like that, but honestly, what I can say is I have the ingredients to have a blended family, but I just can't make the cake. You know what I mean? Everybody is there, but just not everybody will be down to do that. Certain parties don't get along and just all that stuff. So me seeing that, especially in a black family, I love it because it's a beautiful thing. And then, DMX, rest in peace. They had this little title sign for him, Earl Simmons, rest in peace, 1970 to 2021. It was just a beautiful, beautiful documentary. The next documentary I do want to talk about is the Juice WRLD documentary. Juice WRLD is from my neighborhood, actually. But I'm not really familiar with his music. I only like, Lucid Dreams, because I just discovered that song after he passed away. Juice WRLD is 4 years younger than me, and I think that 4 years is kind of a crucial thing for the next generation under me. So they're probably more familiar with it than I am. But it was a hard watch, I would say, because that poor young man who I'm not familiar with his, his spirit or his personality. But when I looked at Juice WRLD on that documentary, he kind of reminded me of like my fun little cousin. But then when he hit those drugs, it was just so sad to watch. He was so sweet. I remember there was a part in the documentary where he was nodding off. He was probably on some narcotics, some lean or something. His girlfriend was laying in his lap, and then he woke up and looked at the cameraman and said, "Hey, bro, you want to watch a movie?" When he said that, I just kind of saw like my innocent little cousin because I don't have any cousins on drugs, thank God. But it was like I was watching my little cousin just go down like that. And in the end, people talked about how he died. If you guys don't know the story, it was kind of around here in this area. I'm from Chicago, so it was on the news and stuff that Juice WRLD was at Midway Airport on a private plane, and when they landed, police and stuff were there, and they, kind of had the plane surrounded or whatever, and Juice WRLD ingested a lot of drugs and stuff, and then he eventually overdosed and died at Advocate Christ in Oak Lawn. So may he rest in peace. May they both rest in peace. I just, I hope their families get comfort, and I hope that this puts a warm spot in their heart, especially with the holidays coming and they don't have their loved one. So moving on from those, I also watched Selling Tampa. Now, Selling Tampa is on Netflix. It's about a black-owned realty brokerage ran by Sherelle Rosado, who is actually engaged to Chad Ochocinco, formerly of the Cincinnati Bengals. The show is pretty good. I wouldn't say it's not as exciting as Selling Sunset, but I also think that they didn't get as much promotion as Selling Sunset. I mean, if you go to LA, you probably see like a billboard for them or something, but if you go to like Tampa, I'm sure they don't have one. But the show is really nice. In the black community, our reality shows don't get a lot of good reviews because it's always someone fighting, it's always someone calling somebody a bitch, it's always this, that, and the third, you know what I mean? But this was really nice to watch, refreshing. Nobody was fighting, pulling hair. Maybe there was a couple arguments here and there, but there was always someone there to say, okay, let's not do this. Let's do something else. So, a really good show. It is #1 on Netflix, so good for them. And I also wanted to talk about House of Gucci. I went to the movies to go see this one. And it was a good movie, very long, but very good. Lady Gaga did her thing. Adam Driver did his thing. But, if you're into toxic love stories, this is your movie right here. It's about the Gucci's son or grandson married Patricia Regani, or whatever her last name is. And it basically just documents when they fell in love, when they got married, when they started having problems, when they got divorced. And then, spoiler alert if you didn't watch the movie or you have no intention to, she basically had him killed. I mean, it's news. It's in the news somewhere on the internet, but she basically had him killed. And to me, I think that that's the most toxic thing in the world. I mean, to have your ex killed because he don't want you no more, that's a no-no right there, y'all. Come on. I have one more TV show, actually, I want to go over. True Story with Kevin Hart. I really enjoyed this one. It's on Netflix as well. And it's not a comedy. It has funny compartments to it. There's times where, Kevin and Wesley Snipes might have had a scene where, Kevin walked in the room and said, "Who the fuck are you? Who the fuck are you?" And then the blow-up doll, Wesley said, "This is my girlfriend." That was funny. But it also showed Kevin's, serious acting skills. I think that Kevin probably had some acting coaching done. I think all actors do when they're transitioning from one thing to another, like the rappers transitioning to acting, when the comedy people are transitioning to drama. I think whoever trained Kevin Hart did a really, really good job. The movie is really enjoyable. Some people say it's predictable. Joe Budden podcast, just saying. But it's really good. It's 6 episodes for the season, or 8 episodes, 6 to 8. But I couldn't finish it in one night. I kept falling asleep, so I had to watch it over and over and over again. So one night when I finally had the energy to sit through all 6 episodes, I was very, very pleased. So y'all gotta check these movies and shows out and tell me what you think. Let me know on the Thompson and Stuff official podcast Instagram. I'm opening up the platform, so whatever y'all have questions on or whatever, DM me so we can talk. All right, and back to some news. I want to send a rest in peace to 3 people. The first rest in peace I want to send one out to is Drakeo the Ruler. Now again, not my generation, but this gentleman was stabbed at a concert in LA that Snoop Dogg was supposed to perform at. And I also want to send condolences to the Avant family. Clarence Avant is the Black Godfather of black music. If you don't know who he is, he has a documentary on Netflix, and it basically covers his role in the black music industry. He founded many talented artists and other music artists as well. But I just want to talk about this. I wanted to get this off my chest. When I was a little kid, I used to love LA. I used to love going to LA. But LA has definitely changed over the years. LA was my dream place to live after I had graduated college. When I first published my book, I was like, man, I gotta go to LA. I gotta live in LA. But then I got older and I started learning about cost of living, property taxes, property monetary amounts, all that stuff. And when I learned it, I went back to what I wanted in LA, and I learned that this is not affordable for me. Now that I hate that LA is expensive for anyone trying to make it to live there, I hate that it has been crime ridden for the past few years. Um, Clarence Avant's wife, Mrs. Avant, was killed in a home invasion. She was shot in the stomach, and was pronounced dead at the hospital. This young man who shot her, I forgot his name. He has a female name for a male. That's all I remember. He was charged. It took them about a day or so to find him and charge him because, I guess, when you live in Beverly Hills, shit gets done up there. And it scares me now that if I were to live anywhere, someone would come in the home and do that. And these killings in LA is just scaring people away. Not only is LA expensive, and now it's crime ridden. I couldn't do it. The killer has been convicted. I'm not sure if Mrs. Avant has been buried. If you don't know, Clarence Avant's daughter is actually married to the CEO of Netflix. So they're all family. So with the stabbing and then the killing, it makes me hate LA in my heart. The city I used to love. I used to dream about moving out there. I used to dream about having a black Mercedes and driving down freaking Ventura Boulevard or, Sunset Boulevard. But now it's like I don't want to do it because of things like this. And I also want to send another rest in peace out. They did have his funeral already. Young Dolph. Preach is forever one of my favorite songs by him. May he rest in peace. He was killed in Memphis while getting his mother some cookies from Akiba's. I read somewhere on the internet today that it's scarier being a rapper than it is being anything else, and I could not agree more. So I send my condolences to their families. I hope that they get justice, all three of them, because gun violence is a freaking it's out of control in this country. And you know what's crazy? I was watching this news coverage of Robert F. Kennedy's assassination on YouTube. There's like a full covering of his assassination from the time he got shot at the hotel to the time he died. They have full coverage on there on YouTube. And I think it was Walter Cronkite or somebody on there was talking about how the gun control laws in this country is a joke. And this was like almost 50 years ago. And 50 years later, we're still losing people who are prominent in our community. I don't know what's going on in the White House. I understand, we're pushing for more inequality. We're pushing for, more rights as black people and all that stuff. But I just wish we could push gun control laws as well, as much as we're pushing the Black Lives Matter and everything. So rest in peace, Mrs. Avant, Drakeo the Ruler, and Dolph. We miss you, and God keep you. Let's see what's next. Also, O.J. Simpson is getting off. Let's not get into that. I also want to send another rest in peace. Rest in peace to Virgil Abloh. I'm not sure. I'll call him Virgil. Rest in peace to Virgil. Virgil was not murdered. He actually had cancer, I think in his throat or his stomach. He actually had his funeral last month. Virgil was from Illinois. He lived in Chicago. And they showed little clips of his funeral on Instagram. One that really stood out to me was Tyler, the Creator. Tyler, the Creator's eulogy to Virgil kind of made me cry. He basically talked about how he designed, an invite for Virgil to see, and he was just so excited. Unfortunately, Virgil did not see it because he passed away of cancer. So may Virgil rest in peace. May God keep you in that. Chris Cuomo has been fired from CNN. Why was he fired from CNN? Because he supported his brother. Point blank, period. That's it. You get fired for standing by your family. Now, do I think Mr. Cuomo did this, whatever they said that they did? I don't know. But at least leave his brother out of it. He was not involved, to my knowledge. But if he was, who knows? But still, just why would you fire someone who might have been outside the situation. That doesn't make sense to me. Lastly, I want to talk about in this section is OJ is getting off parole, ladies and gentlemen. How do we feel about that? Well, for me, I wasn't born when the OJ trial was going on, but I was around when OJ got caught up in Las Vegas. I think OJ should go away, not like go to jail, but like just hide for the rest of your life, because to us, to black people, I think OJ is kind of exonerated. Well, to certain black people, but I think OJ should just go live in private. Just go be a private citizen. Don't go on social media. Don't do TikTok. Don't do Twitter. Just live your life as a private citizen. If you need to leave your house, put on a disguise or something, because nobody wants to see you. I mean, I don't know OJ, but from what I see on TV and social media, he seems like a nice guy, and those type of men are kind of scary. So he should just, he lives in Florida, I believe, or he lives in Vegas. Either he lives in Vegas or he lives in Florida, but I know for a fact he does not live in California. So wherever he is, he used to just live there, play golf, and don't be seen. That's it. All right, y'all. So I just wanted to wrap up on some last minute news. I know we have not talked in a while, but I just want to get into some quick news stories. I won't hold you long. I know y'all probably got presents to wrap and food to cook for Christmas. But let's get into these last minute stories. They're changing the name to the Staples Center to, I think, something that has to do with an online bank. I'm not too sure. Don't hold it against me. But it's going to be weird, y'all. Because we all know Staples Center is Kobe Bryant's house. I mean, Kobe Bryant did play at the Forum in Inglewood for a couple of years, but we all know Kobe Bryant and Staples Center. We're going to see how this name change is going to end. Let's see whose name is going to be associated with this new name change, just like Kobe Bryant was with Staples, and, Kareem and Magic with the Inglewood, Coliseum. But we'll see. I also wanted to get into Danny Lee and the baby. I know that story kind of died down, but it did bother me. It still does bother me, because how are you, this woman had your child, and you're living together, and you just mistreat her like that. It's messed up. And I'm not a fan of the baby's music, so it was kind of messy. Some things, the old saying goes, since 2000 and whatever year social media came out, and we made it our lives, not everything should be put on social media. And single-handedly, I think both of their, situation, their careers have been ruined. People are going to talk. People are still talking about it. So they should have kept that off the social media, and also for their child, because now that the children we have today, they're going to have access to things where they can find out about mommy and daddy. If I were to get married to someone and I'm famous, even with this podcast, my kids can go and look me up and see what I've done in writing, in publishing and all that stuff. So not everything needs to be on YouTube or social media, and we should keep that in mind for the next generation. Travis Scott. This Travis Scott situation, it is pretty messy. I wish I had more time to cover it, but if you don't know, if you've been living under a rock, what's going on is basically Travis Scott has Astroworld Music Festival, and, a lot of people died because of, trampling and just a lot of, I would say thrasher. I mean, thrasher would not be the right word to say, but I don't blame Travis at all. This is not Travis's fault. And a part of me really thinks that Travis is blamed for this because he's a young black man in a racist country. America is racist. I don't care what you say. And like racist fashion, they are attacking this black man. This black man did not go on stage and say, okay, everybody trample each other and go crazy. No. People can have a regular... I've never heard of Metallica having a concert. I don't know if they still perform in real life, but if Metallica were to have a concert now, I know those people who went to the Metallica concert wouldn't know how to act. So basically, in my opinion, at fault is the people who decided to go crazy and who decided to start this riot, that claim like all these people, even a 9-year-old child had died, and now they're saying they don't want Travis to help them pay for no funerals or nothing. It's the least he can do, because he's just trying to do something out of, his heart. And now he's retreated. He's in Houston. I don't know if Kylie and them are back in LA or nothing, but, he didn't do anything. This was all these crazy people who go to these stupid concerts. And you know what? The only thing I want to ask Travis Scott is, why are you having concerts in the midst of a pandemic? This could have been virtual, in my opinion. It could have been virtual. You have the money to make this a virtual experience. Please, we're in a pandemic. People don't need to be that close to other people. So that's what I hold to him. But the stomping and, everything that happened at the concert, I do not blame him. That was a decision that someone walked in and decided to cause that. I also read somewhere that it was security's fault. I do hold something against security. They could have done a better job of kind of guarding the people to get in. But if there were limited resources, that I understand as well. So that is still playing. I just read a story today that Congress is requesting information about it. So now it has reached Congress. That's not a good look for Travis, but we're going to keep in contact with that story. Let's see what else. If you're in the house bored this season, if you're going to be alone for Christmas because pandemic, there are the 90s sitcoms on HBO Max. They have Jamie Foxx show, In the House, Fresh Prince. Who else? Fresh Prince, Jamie Foxx, Martin. They have Martin. All that stuff. So I just want to throw in free promo because y'all know I love me some HBO Max. So I also read the Will Smith book. The Will Smith book is really amazing. A lot of stories we didn't know. I didn't know how Will met. I'm a big Will Smith fan. Everybody knows I've seen 75% of Will Smith's movie catalog. If you name a Will Smith movie, I've seen it probably 2 or 3 times. Yes, even Bright, even Wild Wild West. I went to go see Wild Wild West in theaters, actually. So I'm a real fan. But it's a good read. It took me about a week. It's pretty thick if you have a busy schedule like I do. I mean, I somehow made time to finish the book in a week, but if you have a busy schedule, you can read it chapter by chapter. You'll learn so much about how Will grew up. As everyone knows, Will had money since 17. I didn't know he blew through his money like that, and he borrowed money from a drug dealer and all that stuff. So I really thoroughly enjoyed it. You can get it from Barnes & Noble. You can get it from Amazon. You can get the audio book. Wherever you get your books from, perfectly fine. Also, Kanye West was on Drink Champs. I did sit through that entire interview, and it was pretty cool to watch. At first, I was nervous because I didn't know what Kanye I was going to get, but I was getting the cool Chicago Kanye, which I really did enjoy, and he told stories and of how, his music, and he even smoked, air quotes, he smoked with some, he didn't inhale, so that's not really, something serious. But I really did enjoy that. But he owes Big Sean $6 million. Now, if I was Big Sean, I would not be just in the house moping oh, he owes me $6 million. I would do something about it because it's $6 million and it's owed to me. Oh, hell yeah. Are we still talking about Joe Budden being bisexual, or was that a joke? To me, it was a joke, but it died down so quickly, so I guess nobody cares. Britney Spears, my girl Britney, loved her since 1998. Been a Britney Spears fan almost my whole life. She is off her conservatorship. I'm very happy about that. Now let's get to the real business. Let's air her father out for stealing all that money from her. Let's get her finances back in order, and let's get her, I wouldn't say not in the studio, but let's get her, to a point where she can enjoy semi-retirement, and then if she wants to perform when she wants to, she can always go back to the studio. It is suspended, terminated. Jamie Spears has been suspended. She is getting married to Sam Asghari, and she has been on Instagram, wilding out, but not crazy. She's enjoying herself, so I'm gonna let her have her moment with that too. And did anybody enjoy Jay-Z being on Instagram for 5 seconds? Now, and then he disappeared. I guess he's not socially tech savvy or something. I don't blame the crew or anything, or people who are like holding money phones and stuff. Maybe I can blame him a little bit or whatever, but Jay-Z was on Instagram for like 2 seconds. And lastly, I also read the Jamie Foxx book, which is really cute. It's not an autobiography, but it does tell stories about father. All right, y'all, that's enough for me. Thank you so much for another episode of Thompson and Stuff. I hope you have a very Merry Christmas and a safe New Year. Stay safe out there with this pandemic. If you are vaccinated, if you're boosted, continue to, stay safe. If you're unvaccinated, again, stay safe as well. I will talk to you guys in 2022. Hopefully we'll have a good year together with more podcasts, more projects. You can follow me on Instagram, adashmariesonofthom. You can follow the official podcast page, Thompson and Stuff Podcast Official. You can follow me on Twitter, _sonofT. And you can follow me on TikTok. You'll just have to look up my name on there. You can buy the books, Meet Angela, A.G. Townsend, The Meridian Dream on Amazon. They are very low prices. You can get them delivered to your door tomorrow. I hope you guys enjoy this new episode, and I will speak to you guys soon. I love you all, and thank you for the continued support. Shout out to Germany. I see y'all. I love y'all. Thank you so much for the continued support. God bless, Merry Christmas, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.